Okay, so if you've ever tried to book a car service in Chicago, you probably know that the search can be a little overwhelming. One name you are definitely going to see pop up is American Limousine, and their website is, well, it's a lot. So we've done the heavy lifting for you. In this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise and give you a simple, clear guide to exactly what they do and where they go.
The very first thing that jumps out, the number that really tells you they're a part of the city, is this: over 35 years of experience. Now, in a place like Chicago, that is not just a number. It means they've seen it all. Every festival, every crazy traffic jam, every snowstorm you can imagine. It's a sign of reliability and local know-how that's really hard to find.
So who are they, really? Well, at their core, they're private car and limo service. You get a professional chauffeur, not just a driver. And here's a key detail. They have 24/7 live dispatch. That means you always get a real person on the phone, never a machine. They cover all of Chicago and the suburbs for pretty much any reason you can think of, whether it's for business or just for fun.
To make sense of it all, here's our plan. We'll start by looking at their role as a real Chicago fixture. Then we'll dive into their massive airport operation. After that, we'll cover what they do for businesses and big events, map out their huge service area, and finally, we'll walk you through how you actually book a ride.
All right, let's get into it. First up, what does it really mean to be a Chicago fixture when it comes to transportation? Let's break down the core services that have kept them in business for more than 3 decades.
So what it all boils down to is this. They provide prearranged, chauffeured ground transportation. You book your ride ahead of time, and a professional driver takes care of everything else. It's a simple idea, but the magic is in how they apply it to so many different situations. Now, let's talk about what is, without a doubt, their single biggest focus, the airport connection. And that means navigating both O'Hare and Midway. You know, one of the first things you're going to notice on their site is just how many times they say things like Limo to O'Hare, car service O'Hare, O'Hare airport transfers. It's endless. That's all about making sure you find them when you search online. We've just cut right through all that to give you the real info. And this breaks it down perfectly. They serve both major hubs. They specifically point out that O'Hare, over on the northwest side, is where you'll find the big carriers like American, United, and Delta. But if you're flying southwest, you're likely headed to Midway on the southwest side. They've got you covered at both. And it's not just a simple trip from A to B. Of course, they do standard pickups and drop-offs, one-way or round trip, but they also have dedicated services for airline crews, they offer charters, and they even handle transfers to the smaller private airports in the area, like DuPage and Chicago Executive.
Okay, but what if you're not going to the airport? Well, that brings us right to our next section. For business and big events, this is everything else they do.
They really set the tone for this part of their service with this line right from their website. Let us provide the most luxurious transportation that you'll find in the city. So right away, you know we're shifting from just practical airport trips to something a little more special.
And they definitely back up that claim with a huge list of events they cover. We're talking weddings, bachelor and bachelorette parties, proms, quinceañeras, you name it. They also do trips to all the big venues for concerts and games. Think Wrigley Field, the United Center. You can even just book them for a night on the town or for a private tour of the city. Now, on the flip side of all that fun stuff is their corporate transportation. They make a point to highlight this as a separate service for business travelers, for getting to important meetings, or moving teams to corporate events. It's a really important part of what they do, totally separate from the party buses and wedding limos. So, we've talked about the what, but now let's get into the where. This next part is all about their geographic reach across Chicagoland, and trust me, it's impressive. Their coverage of the suburbs is just exhaustive. As we click through these, you'll see they have services for dozens of towns. We'll start up here with the North and North Shore suburbs, places like Evanston, Skokie, all the way up to Lake Forest. Then we swing over to the Northwest, hitting all the key areas like Schaumburg, Arlington Heights, and Barrington. And yeah, it doesn't stop there. They go just as far out into the west, southwest, and south suburbs, from Naperville all the way down to Orland Park. The big takeaway here is really simple. They've pretty much got the entire Chicagoland metro area blanketed. And believe it or not, their service doesn't even stop at the state line. As you can see here, their service area is really a tri-state operation. They specifically mention running routes into Wisconsin, say up to Milwaukee, and over into Indiana for places like South Bend. All right, so that covers the what and the where. Now for the final piece of the puzzle, let's get practical and look at how you actually book a ride with them. The process itself is super straightforward. First, you can either call them up to get a quote or just talk to a live agent, which is great, or you can use the Book Now button right on their website. From there, you just plug in your details and wait for that confirmation to pop into your inbox. It's as simple as that. And just so you have it, here is all their key contact info in one easy spot. You've got their main office number, a special line just for airport trips, and their email. And don't forget that 24/7 live dispatch. That means you can call any of these numbers anytime, day or night. So after we've broken it all down from their 35 years in the city and their deep airport knowledge to that massive tri-state service area, it all really comes back to this one simple question they ask on their own site. It perfectly sums up their entire business, and it leaves the choice up to you. Where do you want to go?